Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit Mercury in Cancer. Well, when Mercury transits Cancer, okay, it's making its transition, of course, from Mercury in Gemini. In Mercury in Gemini, of course, people can be a lot more talkative, loquacious, even garrulous. And Mercury in Cancer is more about talking about their feelings. It may not be as talkative as Gemini, but it's more about communication with a little bit more of an emotional quality to it. And people, I believe, are often they're trying to pick up on the feelings of others and the emotions. People tend, when Mercury transits Cancer, it's really a lot more subjective than when it was in Gemini. Gemini is like super objective, and it's really, though Gemini is not a sign that we would associate with being really blunt or outspoken or brusque in manner of speech, but what it is it's really about the facts, and it may not take the human element or aspect into consideration. Now, when Mercury transits Cancer, it's really the opposite. It's more about thinking about how our words might impact someone else. There's a lot more sensitivity connected with what we're saying during this time. And Cancer is the sign associated with our home and with our family. And the mind might be more dominated at this time by your home activities, by doing things kind of a more introverted way, things at home. There might be some projects that you may be doing during this time. You might be really maybe a little bit more emotional during this time. People collectively may be a little bit more sensitive to what others are saying at this time than ordinarily. And it could be a lot of this. I mean, Cancer is a sign that doesn't care for ridicule or criticism and doesn't take it lightly. Now, really, hardly anybody does, but Cancer is even more sensitive to this, much more than the average sign. And thing about it is, it's careful during this time, people, when you have the Mercury transiting Cancer, that you don't misconstrue something that's said and take it the wrong way. Sometimes people might just be flat out hurtful, and they are saying something derogatory about you, but at times it just could be an unintentional slight, something that was misconstrued. It could mean, sometimes things are ambiguous, and especially if you're reading something on the internet, just be careful. If you're not sure, you could always say, hey, what did you mean by what was said? Was this meant to be derisive or negative, or Mercury making a general statement, for example? So, and also, this is a time too where a lot of us, I mean, Cancer is about being reflective, and it could be more about reminiscing about the past, and it could be a combination of happy moments and really perhaps upsetting ones and negative ones as well. And it's also essential during this transit not to be dominated by negativity and the past hurts. And those things might come up in your mind more during this time than compared to usual. And it could be a time too, like if you hadn't, talked to a family member in some time, well, this could be the time where you might reach out to one, and if there's a reconciliation that needs to be made, maybe this is the time that you may go ahead and really start the ball rolling, so to speak, as far as that goes. And this could be a time too where we're kind of like feeling out, like what people are saying, we're looking at see who's being veracious and based on maybe how they're saying it. And really, Cancer is often very cognizant about the subtle ways people will communicate and convey their messages to us. And it's important during this time. The positive is that the Mercury transits Cancer, there could be greater propensity perhaps to pick up on that. But at the same time, the danger is perhaps reading into things too much and maybe looking too deep and thinking that there was some subtle reference and when it really wasn't. And those are some things to look at as far as this transit goes. And there might be more communication about how we feel about things during this time. than usual. And the thing is, Mercury is also connected with short journeys. And Cancer, being connected with the home and family, it could be a time where we might be more apt to take more short journeys with the family. And keep in mind, during this time when Mercury traverses Cancer, this could be a period where, this is generally, it's when Mercury's in Cancer, it's going to be transiting Cancer during the time when we are in the summer, and it could be very close to summer when Mercury is in Cancer. So this could be a time where, people are going with their families, maybe to beaches, doing things connected with the water. It could be swimming, and this is a time to, and sometimes even taking perhaps a trip over, maybe by boat. And really, this could be about, and even water sports too. And it's also, when we look at Mercury in Cancer too, it could be just about maybe taking a short journey just to some place that has water on it. And really, that's some things to look at when Mercury transits the zodiac sign Cancer. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the transit Mercury in Cancer. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about the transit Mercury in Leo. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.